Hey, you beautiful people. It is the Nerd On update with your fabulous hosts, the three of us, where we talk about the news that nerds us out. And then we go to get questions from you, the people.
He did it.
Kind of ad-libbed it, but that was the gist,
Ba,
wasn't
ba,
it?
ba,
Yeah.
ba.
Hey, everyone knows it's a news show. We do some questions at the end. We chat with the audience.
If Tom was Aaron Sorkin, he'd have stopped me and said, "No, say what I wrote. Exactly what I wrote."
No, actually, I think I'm becoming more of a Clint Eastwood of just like,
just let it go.
That's enough now.
That-
No more.
Next scene.
Let's do
Enough improving. Knock it off of Steve's. We're good.
But hello everyone. Welcome. Happy Monday night news. Who do we got in the chat rooms tonight? We got
Who's up in this place?
Kyron. We got Bad
Kyron's
Reprint. We got Johnny Horror or 51 Jonathan. We got Ethan who's starting to read some books again. We got T-Dog. We got Mamba in here. Do we got Mamba? Do we got Raph? Hello. Welcome. It's the last week before July. Can you believe?
Oh my goodness.
2023 is halfway over.
Holy shit.
And
It's wild.
And
wild.
Mostly every superhero movie has flopped.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever. Every game has a collector's edition, yet they're always going to come with day one bugs. Here we are.
It's a standard.
Here we are, everyone.
Yay!
But
July.
You know what's the one most consistent thing about the year, about the world, about Nerd On? It's not
us.
you. You weren't here last week.
No, I meant us
No.
as a family.
No.
Family.
Sure.
Family.
It was that
Family.
we're always changing our roster on the update. And so
Yes.
that's why we're going to chat it up. We're gonna shoot the shit. Josh, how you been? How has your week been?
Good, man. I booked a national commercial and I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited about it.
Fucking maxi
for a
pads.
major auto brand too. So I'm like, damn. What else?
Depends.
Huh?
Depends.
Yeah.
I see
yeah.
that.
It's a major diaper commercial.
Nice.
I was the key
Nice.
spokesperson,
Nice.
What else? Yep.
Tall boys diaper.
Started planning my birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Nice.
I saw.
I would send you an invite to Steve's, but I can't imagine
what will
you
happen?
coming
He'll go to like something else that week in LA.
like down the street.
That's
like
his, his MO.
down the street.
Okay, listen. I had literally no time besides getting there, say happy birthday to my cousin, come back.
Yeah, yeah,
Y'all were doing something because I saw you on Instagram too.
Yeah.
Y'all had plans. All right.
Yeah. You could have been my plans, but
Have you ever heard of plans change?
It was
you ever
flu
heard
stuff
of
you were
like I
doing,
could have been like,
Tom.
hey, I'm gonna be a little late. A friend
Tom.
of mine came down from Northern California. I really want to see him in person.
Listen. I am stalking both of you fine gentlemen on your Instagram. I see.
It's not stalking; it's research.
I see the amazing things both of you are doing, especially Josh. You've got voiceover work going like crazy. Tom, you just filmed a freaking movie.
I'm not doing it.
And I just saw.
I'm just flicking the bean.
Well, I mean that's always a good
I'm
time
just
too.
spanking the monkey.
I mean that's always nice. So
And
I'm
making
here.
movies while doing it.
Exactly. There you go. I write movies while doing it.
Buying something.
Hi-oh.
So and planning your birthday. I saw that you got some peaches growing up in there.
Yeah,
Got
the
the whole
cookie,
project's
yeah.
like almost finished.
Eat a lot of
Yeah, I mean,
peaches.
it's we've just got some no, I hung up the final light strip today.
Nice.
We got a couple of things coming tomorrow. That's just fixing things. It's just little things, but otherwise, I was editing the new thing for Nerd On. That is
Does the
Does the
exported.
Steves
and
know
needs to
about
be.
it?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't know the new thing.
no. We have a new show that I am producing called the Nerd On Sessions, and I'm going to interview people in the industry that I know about mental health and the industry.
Nice.
Because people aren't talking about it. Oh, well,
True.
they are, but just I think it could be more.
Continue. Yeah.
And Tom is the first guest, and it's
Nice.
a wonderful conversation. So
Beautiful.
yeah, so
I love it.
getting ready to upload that probably tomorrow, so the patrons can see it first.
The patrons.
The patrons.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it's just auditioning every day, you know, just playing some Diablo 4. you know,
Diablo. Some Diablo.
just-
I know this is the part of the show where we don't normally answer the questions. I just want to answer this really quick for 51 Jonathan because it's a little time sensitive. Guys, I meant to ask you, I'm going to meet the Lord of the Rings cast the 2nd of Saturday of July. Should I bring them the book for them to sign it? This is my first time going to a Fanboy Comic-Con. The thing is with events and panels, it might cost you some money for them to sign it. That's the only thing. Maybe they're nice. I don't know. It just depends on certain venues. But typically, they're handlers, or if they're at like a booth or whatever, like you'll have to pay money. Sometimes if you just get them, which most of the time they're protected by a lot of people, like you won't get a chance to. But they're typically nice. Like, but and that's the tough thing where it's like if they sign one for something else, they'll have to sign for everything. So it's crazy.
Everybody.
That's what I that's all my only feedback on that. If Steve,
yeah, they might not have a signing set. If they have a signing set up, then yeah. Anyway.
Steve, how you been? What you been up to?
Things.
Nice. Thanks.
No anniversary.
Birthday, turned 41.
Hey.
Turned 41, Yep, the old 4-1. Had a nice Father's Day. We went and saw Little Mermaid. Really good. Really enjoyed it. Not gonna lie. And then went on a Monterey trip for the anniversary. Yeah, that was June. That was all in June.
Congrats.
Wow.
Thank you. That's our yearly anniversary trip to Monterey, Carmel area.
What year anniversary?
Number 14.
Damn!
Number 14.
No, I'm just
Yes. You Kevin Harted me on Don Cheadle.
Damn!
You just did. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry.
We celebrated it's 2023 10-year married in November, and then this year is 11, obviously.
Nice.
If everybody can count, but we've been together since 2010.
Nice.
So yeah,
Congratulations. Yeah, it's
Celebrate
been
my relationship every night.
nice. Both
Nice.
hands.
Nice.
Both hands.
31
Switch
year
hitter.
relationship.
Switch hitter.
Yeah, I'm Michael
sometimes you
Myers.
just
Yeah, there you go.
wow.
Pocket pull with 2 hands.
Well.
Where? What else? I shot some shit.
What about you, Tom?
Yeah, tell me
You had a big shoot this week,
Yeah,
or the
you
last
did.
2 weekends, yeah.
Yeah, you did.
And it looks like you're trying some things.
dying.
You're,
Looks
you're
like it.
adventuring.
I'm not gonna lie. I am deceased as a human being. Like
No, you're live.
I don't have really good health etiquette when like I shoot a thing, and I think the only way to break it is to crash and burn. And
I mean, that's a way.
like it was a
Away.
night shoot, and we shot. I'm not trying to crash like you, Josh. Like that's a very life-threatening crash.
Josh is like, no.
But I mean, like, I think because I don't eat, I don't drink water, I don't like drink hydrate. I don't hydrate.
You get pretty hyper focused on what you're doing.
I guess it's hyper focused, but it's very much like in my mind, I want to make sure everyone else is taken care of. T-Dog, thank you for the sub.
Hey.
Tom, if I were lucky to be on a future set with you, I'd make sure in between takes I would take a cup of
What
water
is this if?
and throw it in your face. Just throw
What
the
is
cup of water
this
in your
if?
face.
Well, the thing
There you
is,
go, Tom.
what's gonna happen is I cast a Steve,
When?
and then he's gonna be like, oh, I gotta
When?
go.
I'm just waiting for you to make it huge. Then I can really have an excuse.
T-Dog, the real reason you sub.
Listen, I got to go
Fuck
because
those
Tom
ads.
is now with Universal. Now I'm getting paid. I just got to go.
Calling it. No, I was gonna make a really bad joke. It's something that I found funny. I was like, this is the joke. Okay, I have to explain the joke now because
Tell me.
there's someone at my job who I was just like, so we know Will, Uncle Will, from our show from Nerd On. He was on a couple episodes, and I dubbed him Junior Bacon Western Cheeseburger, like, calling someone like Big Mac, it's like, hey, you're
Like we did in
you're
Madison.
Junior Bacon, like, hey, you're coming in like Nerd On, and blah blah. And so I had this guy in my office, and I was like, I was like, I don't want to call you Big Mac because you're not Big Mac. And I was like, what are the burgers are there? It's like, there's sub. I was like, oh, I can call it Whopper. And then he's like, Tom, I wouldn't call me that. And I was like, why? He's like, I'm Italian. And I was like, I don't know what that means. And then he's like, and he explained, I was like, oh shit. And then it's been this running joke where we find the Burger King Whopper commercial. And then now in July, Oppenheimer's coming out, and then Burger King's like, are you having the Whoppenheimer? So where does this all come through? I don't know.
To keep it connected, I found out the word dago is actually used against Italians, Portuguese, and Spanish. So I guess I do fall in the dago category if we were to bring that word back.
I'm a quarter that.
So there you go. There you go.
So there we are.
There you go. There you go. But
I'm so white. I'm always like really like, how do I have 25% Portuguese? I'm like,
a little spice in there. You got a little,
yeah,
little
I've got some
spice.
spice.
Little linguiça spice thrown in there.
Yeah.
You're good. Yeah.
Some probably some port.
Yeah. It's important there. It's important there.
Some dessert wine. Why not?
It's just a guy with a glass of port doing this.
Hey.
But I think I'll try to post any behind the scenes stuff onto the Patreon so people can take a look at that if y'all want to see it.
And I became friends with Elaine through all y'all, and I've been like clapping and like liking.
She and her husband are amazing.
Everything she posts there, so I'm bombarding her Instagram too. So
yeah,
Elaine, if you're watching,
she was
sorry.
great. She was very very inside the actor studio. She was very. If there was anyone hard on anyone on set, it was that she was hard on herself. She is.
I understand that.
She definitely was just wanting to make sure that I got what I wanted, and I was just like, I'll tell you the note. It'll be up to you if you're going to accept the note or you're going to know what I'm talking about. But
I mean, I get that. That's like it's just like years in the making, though, right? Like 2-3 years. You guys have.
I mean, like, in my mind, I thought I wrote it like. I thought I feel like I've always been writing it, and so I'm like, I never think about like, oh, when
it's
I
always
first
been here.
concepted it. But I've told Elaine about it, and she's like, yeah, like he's been talking about this for like years. I was like, have I really been talking? I was like, I guess I have been talking about it for years.
So I can understand the whole like her not wanting to mess up on this thing you guys have been wanting to do for so long. So I understand that. I get that.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, we're done with that. We'll get into the news. Before we get started with the news, though, we got to do the clappy claps for fun.
Yeah, Josh.
Oh, Antonio.
That's tail slates.
Dramatic pause.
All right. Well, for news, who would like to go first?
I'll go first. I have some big news.
Ooh, big news. Big news, Josh. Big news, Josh. That's his name.
I have some really, really big news. Oh, thank you. Claps from Brad. I'm going to have to use this opportunity to formally retire from the Nerd On Update.
Oh.
My news is pretty big. In the course of the past 6 years of doing Nerd On and maybe 5 of doing the Nerd On Update, we've been asked a question many, many times. If I had a nickel for every time we were asked this question, I maybe have a quarter. What game remake would you love to have? Would you love to see? And we got some news over the past few days.
Oh, breaking news.
Leisure
Super Mario RPG is getting a remake. And that's it. I'm putting down my headphones and we're done. I don't need to do any more news.
There was a fear that hit me. Like, did Tom know about this? What's going on? What's happening?
No, Leisure Suit Larry, magna cum laude.
Knights of the Old. No, I about lost my damn mind. I obviously didn't watch Nintendo Direct because I don't have anything Nintendo. So I was like, but people were posting about it, and it was one of those things I saw a Facebook link that somebody posted, and I was like, what? What? And I was like, oh my gosh. And I watched the trailer and it looks so goddamn good. But I don't have a Switch, so I'm probably gonna have to steal one, borrow one. You know, we'll see how.
Yeah.
But you know, the thing that I fear
mine
is
out
like,
to you for $10 a week.
hell yeah, $10 a week. That's not bad. That's a good rate.
It's a good deal. That's a good deal.
That's
yeah,
what
that's not a bad rate.
Put that up.
No, you know, I have a thing about remakes. I'm not really a big fan of them. This one, it's always, it's kind of like if you saw an old movie and you like, it'd be really cool to see that with updated CGI. Like it'd be like really interesting to see with updated. So seeing the trailer, I was like, oh my God, it looks adorable. I'm afraid that it'll get the Final Fantasy VII treatment. I don't want them to fuck with it. Watching the trailer, I'm like, wow, it has a lot of the same feels. I was reading some other articles that were like, you know, it's going to need to have more modern options.
Oh, quality of life for sure.
Yeah, like quality of life things. It's going to, I mean, the level cap back then was level 30. So, I mean, it's probably going to need to have a level cap raise, a mini map, stuff like that. Like just like quality of life things and hopefully some DLC. I don't know. And I don't want them to do like, I'm a little precious about Final Fantasy VII, and the remake wasn't, I didn't like the word remake because it wasn't a remake. It was like a reimagining. They changed some things. Anyway, he's being precious. The next piece of news is we got some Paddington 3 news.
Oh,
you all know that Paddington 2 is my favorite.
In the chapter, the ongoing
news is
legacy.
Really cool. Some news is really cool. Some of it I don't know how I feel about it. First, the what was added, Olivia Colman and Antonio Banderas, and some other people have joined the cast. I love Olivia Colman. I will watch anything that she's in. The thing that I'm a little scared about is Emily Mortimer. I love her. She is a great actress. I do love watching what she's in. Is taking over for Sally Hawkins. Sally Hawkins was... There's something going on. I've got like music going on in my ear. I'm sorry. An ad is playing and I have my Mac music. God bless. Okay, fine.
Jesus.
No, my computer is, I just muted something and it's like, hey, I don't want to mute. Fuck you. Anyway, so I love Sally Hawkins. So I'm, you know, it's kind of one of those things like it's the magic of Sally Hawkins is the mom and but Emily Mortimer is good too. So I mean, it's Paddington 3 I'm talking about. I mean, come on, Josh.
The next chapter in the legacy of the beloved bear.
Paddington 3 Requiem. I'd watch it. I'd watch it.
The Paddington Ultimatum.
If Pooh the horror movie can happen,
I just
Paddington.
envisioned the bathroom fight scene from Bourne Ultimatum, but it's Paddington and Winnie the Pooh.
Can you imagine if Paddington was just like, I'm so fucking tired of being nice.
Paddington with a towel around Pooh.
It's time for the real number one bear to growl.
The thing is, are you using the horror movie Pooh or the regular one?
No, regular. Well, I mean, a Pooh that would be Bourne-like, and the assassin chasing Julia Stiles. That would
Like
be Pooh.
Because I'm sorry,
Kinda.
I have to take this a little further. I take this to the next step because the thing is, like, so if you
yes, and us, Tom, please.
because if you
Yes.
have the serial killer Pooh, then you have Paddington, who's like now he's Brian Mills, Liam Neeson, right? Like I'm a nice man, but you pushed me too far, and now I'm gonna come after you. And then you have the serial killer Pooh, who's like,
I have a certain set of skills.
I was just here for a good time. But what you also do, so like again, but if you want to create this like a bear cinematic universe thing, then like
a bear cinematic
Paul Greengrass style. Paul Greengrass style.
Then you bring in Poe from Kung Fu Panda.
Oh
right?
yes.
And then so it's like
just give me this camera.
Bernstein Bears.
Give me this camera with the fight scenes. Just give me that
and the
with them.
Bernstein Bears.
I'm gonna need some one-shot fight
they're
scenes.
gonna be like, you know, like I don't have fists, I have family. and then like
Oh,
razzle each
and
other.
Bandolera starts playing. Da, 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 da. No.
Like a one shot through the 100-acre woods, and it's just like a bunch of different bears, and it's like on my left, and like the Bernstein bears are coming through.
Oh yes,
And then
yes.
I see you see in the comment.
Oh, Ted
Put
is the
Ted as the
villain.
villain. Oh no, I am inevitable.
He would just be like,
As he's doing the humping dance. I am inevitable.
we can
just
do
made
it.
a Paddington action universe.
Universal,
Call us.
cut the
Call
check.
us.
Cut the check.
Oh, there would be Yogi. There would be
Hey, Boo Boo.
Yogi and Boo Boo.
The Revenant Bear.
Baloo,
The Revenant Bear. Yeah. He'll fuck shit up.
Smokey the Bear. Oh, you know, Smokey would have like a one-liner in the 100-acre woods. He'd start like a forest fire and he'd be like, "Only you can shut the."
I feel like also
And he throws a match like.
I think
at the
Smokey is a
100-acre woods.
post-credit scene that never happened. I think pretty much after the fight between all these people, like this town is destroyed. He's like, "There's only one person could take down this fire," and then it just ends.
And then the end credit scene is Smokey putting his hat down.
Yeah.
And
just
Cocaine
looks at the
Bear just
camera.
runs across the screen.
Cocaine
Fozzie Bear would be there.
Fozzie?
Waka Waka.
Fozzie is trying to do stand-up.
Just a cameo. It'll
Just a
be like
cameo.
on TV, like a
And then a chef comes out from the bear, and then he's
Oh my! That is a stretch, and you know that the real fanboys are gonna be like, "I got it.
He's in the
I saw
corner
it."
just chopping things.
he's like,
Cocaine Bear
We're
would
cooking
have to be
bear
there.
today.
We're cooking bear today. I love this universe.
Other news?
Yeah, I've got no more news. I retired, so
It's Steve's, you or me?
Oh yes, I've got some wrestling news for you today. Let me talk to him. That's a foreshadowing. Anyway, first off, both stories come from WWE. We have now entered the next chapter of the Bloodline storyline, the Bloodline Civil War. Because
Original.
last week, Jey Uso made his decision whether he would stay with Roman Reigns and Solo or stick with his brother Jimmy. And Jey delivered a super kick to the jaw of Roman Reigns, staying loyal with his brother. The Usos have broken apart from the Bloodline, which will lead up to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view that will be in London, England, July 1st on a Saturday around noon, where the Bloodline Civil War main event is Roman Reigns, the undisputed champion, and his little cousin, Solo Sikoa, their little brother, versus Jimmy and Jay, the Usos.
Neutron.
No. Jimmy and Jay Uso. The Usos. So some little tidbits of facts here. Roman Reigns has now surpassed 1,027 days as undisputed champion, putting him in the top 5 longest title reigns in the history of the WWE. He is now amongst the names of Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan, and Bob Backlund. Yes, of longest title reigns in WWE history. 1,027 days. He's past that. We don't know how much longer he'll have it.
The only reason I ever learned how to rip a shirt.
Hulk Hogan. Yep. Along with that, the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, are the longest running consecutive tag team to never break up. They've been there 13 years. They have always been a duo. The split has never happened like most tag teams have in the past. The Usos have remained the tight unit that they are, which they teased with this whole bloodline choice, which they remained loyal to each other. So the brothers are still united, going against their big cousin and the little brother in the Bloodline Civil War chapter of this 3-year story arc, which has been fantastic. My next bit of
The Infinity Saga continues.
it is kind of, yeah. Now, mind you, this whole story was born in the era of the pandemic, because at this time, the WWE couldn't have a live audience. So what they would do is in the Thunderdome, which is the arena they have over in Florida, they would have all these digital screens, and fans could exactly fans could log in and your face would pop up on the screen, so fans were watching although they weren't actually there. So during this time, this gave Roman Reigns and everyone the idea of making things more cinematic. You could be quieter because there's no audience being so loud. You can make things a little more film-like, where instead of yelling at each other on the microphone, there are quiet lines being delivered. More of the acting was shown during this time, basically, and it developed a new era in the way stories are told in wrestling. And this storyline has continued for the past 3 years. Those of you interested, the musical genius Rick Rubin has a podcast. I forgot the damn name of the podcast, but if you look up Rick Rubin on Apple Podcasts, you'll see it. He had an episode on June 7th with the wise man to Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, who is a genius in the wrestling world. No, it's like
with
maybe
Rick Rubin.
Is it Broken Record?
Is it the circle that's broken?
No.
Wait,
there's another one. It's Rick Rubin's the host. Rick Rubin's the host.
Rick Rubin podcast Tetragrammaton.
That one. That's the one.
The fucking rank of a person in the movie The Equilibrium, starring Christian Bale and Sean Bean.
Bingo, bango, bongo. He has a 3-hour interview with Paul Heyman, who has been a part of the wrestling industry for over 40 years. He's the man who started ECW, that revolutionized the way wrestling was. It made WWE go into the Attitude Era. They have a 3-hour discussion about his time in wrestling, how the Bloodline story started, his time managing Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. It's a very in-depth interview. If you're anywhere interested in wrestling, been a fan all your life, or interested in certain angles, a discussion with Paul Heyman for 3 hours, led by the genius Rick Rubin, is a fantastic episode. So when you're done with us first, then go listen to that podcast.
Yeah.
Additional news. There is a guy in WWE named LA Knight. The man is 40 years old. He's been trying to get into wrestling for the past 10, 15 years. Had little stints, but didn't go anywhere, and was actually someone who was doing the motion capture for all the WWE video games. So he has quite the knowledge of everyone's moves. Within the last year, he has been back into the WWE programming and has blown up amongst the fans. His name is LA Knight. He's like Stone Cold and The Rock mixed together, present day. As an LA guy, his theme music sounds like a 90s LA hip hop pop song. The man is on fire. His yeah chant is about as popular now as Ric Flair's woo and Stone Cold's what. You'll say yeah chant anywhere you go. So if you haven't seen LA Knight, Google LA Knight. He is a rising star at 40 years old, and he's in his prime as we speak. So LA Knight, look out for that guy. That's my wrestling news.
This is his sign, right?
LA Knight?
Yeah.
Well, he does. So he does this whole where he spells his name L, points at you A, Knight. Yeah. And now the whole crowd repeats it with him when he does that. So you know you've sold yourself when the fans are repeating everything you say or cheering with you. So
that's what Hitler did.
LA Knight, baby. Well, yeah, but
I mean, listen.
I mean, it's a little
The science of audience.
A little more joyful.
Frank Herbert, just saying, said we shouldn't be just so enamored with charismatic leaders.
It's a wrestler, not a tyrant. Okay, all right.
Now,
until they want to run for office.
Well, I mean, better than a real estate agent.
The chain.
I'll take a wrestler over real estate guy any day.
I mean, the hierarchy in the political sphere is about to change. So my news is going to be Marvel shit. Marvel shit today.
Secret.
Shit, not in bad ways, but just shit.
Secret.
Yeah, secret invasion backlash.
Secret invasion.
During the we don't know when this writer's strike, as well as the other union strikes, are happening. A lot of the conversation is going around the usage of AI, utilizing it to shorten the length of pre-production rooms and writers' rooms, pre rooms, and what a lot of people are seeing, and a lot of people are kind of like have on good authority that people want to start just using AI to write scripts that are garbage and then make the room so that real writers could then just fix those scripts. And there has been this backlash of trying to protect artists, trying to protect the time, the work-life balance, the quick turnaround. The consumerism is really high, and so in the midst of all this, again, the waterboarding continues, and Disney's like, here's some more Marvel for you. And the show Secret Invasion came out, which I'm mainly excited to just have Samuel Jackson have more of a central role. I feel like for someone who kind of like had to like be this connective tissue for all like on screen, it's really, I feel like it's a due time for Samuel Jackson to have that, even though he's Samuel Jackson. He's a star without Marvel. Like, he doesn't need the Marvel stardom. But it would be cool to have Nick Fury, which a lot of people who are familiar with the comic books have a cinematic presence as well, other than, oh, last time I trusted someone, I lost my eyeball, and it was a cat. But that being said, their opening sequence has AI output art, if you want to call it. I think I will get destroyed and tomatoes thrown at me if I said it was called art. So AI output, but people will just call it whatever they want to call it, in its opening sequence, and it just drove a lot of backlash. I mean, Samuel Jackson unfortunately has to be the like front guy and talk about what his position is. It's to show that he's in the front of, and he's very Samuel Jackson again. He's at the, I don't know if there's any low points in his career he'll have. He's just going to be Samuel Jackson, and he's like,
motherfucker.
A lot of big iconic actors are probably getting a lot of questions asked if they're going to release their likenesses so people can use AI to like use them past their lifespan, and he crosses that stuff out every time. So there's that bit of news from that section. And the other bit of news is Across the Spider-Verse. So we had Into the Spider-Verse, we have Across the Spider-Verse, and we have some artists who have been saying that they were working somewhere around 90 hours a week. Insane deadlines, really high demand stuff. And Amy Pascal, who is the de facto Spider-Man Sony, head person, kind of got to the tabloids and the journalists and says like, well, I guess that's welcome to the film industry. Not really trying to play a good, even though it's a slap on the wrist that someone whistle blew and said like, hey, this is a really toxic kind of thing that happens because it's so hard to say no to these jobs, as well as you're nickel and diming us for everything, but then also we're having to work extra hours, and people just can't maintain a good lifespan with this, and everyone's bidding at low prices, so it's just really hard. We heard the same thing with like a lot of the backlash with She-Hulk, and we heard this with Riot Games, and we whenever you have these giant projects that require teams, especially for like special effects and graphics and motions, it just takes a long time. It just takes so much skill and craftsmanship to do it. I remember we talked about Will, and I remember he was saying one time, he's like, it's really cool that the director really listened to the fans for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, but could you imagine how many hours was already put into it from these people, and they're not moving the release date? So you always got to think about that stuff. It's like if I put Josh on a project and I told him like, hey, you got to change everything from the tip top, from the bottom to the top, and I was like, but I'm also not changing your deadline. And it's just like ridiculous. It's like you're giving them, you're wanting them to start from scratch, and then not.
Well, Josh retired. He retired, so he can't do that.
Yeah. So he did. So with that being said, shortly after Pascal had that comment in the tabloids or in the outlets, the Across the Spider-Verse team, or I guess we should just call them the Spider-Verse team, the Miles Morales Sony team, made like a post and a memo pretty much saying like, due to studio infighting and bad management, we are going to push the film for 2 years. It was originally slated for 2024. It will now be coming out in 2026. And they said they're deeply sorry that they're going to have to push it out for 3 years. But they want to make sure that the silly little guy called Miles Morales gets the finale he deserves. That being said, it was really like, holy shit.
I'm sorry. I feel like they went. Sorry, hold my beer. There's something in my pocket. Just
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
So I
Mhm.
found that's weird.
See that?
That was in there.
Yeah, that was there the whole time. How about
Weird.
So yeah,
That is awesome.
The third,
I mean,
yeah. So the third film, Beyond the Spider-Verse. Let me see if I could find the image or not.
My boys will be 13 and 10.
Delay.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Blah blah blah. Delayed and. Let's see. Where is it? Did they take it down already? Let me see. Hold on.
First one came out in 2019, didn't it?
2019, right before Endgame.
Yeah. Okay.
To listen for delay. Let's see. Come on.
Ugh.
Why is no
I'll
one
have it.
posting the actual?
I'll have a teenager when that one comes out. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that being said,
Yeah,
it'll be a couple years, and there is a short film. They did say like, hey, while you wait, you can go ahead and watch the short film that we released about Miles Morales, and also check out the new game that's coming out. To try to be like, satiate people, because they know like, yeah, it's not a fun thing to hear, but yeah, it was a. Oh, okay, let me see. I want to find the exact wording, but I was like, damn, that was spicy. But yeah, it's delayed. And I think I don't know how people are taking it, but it's a thing, especially for a film like that like, it broke the Disney and Pixar win all the Academy Awards for animation all the time, and it was like, cool, Sony Animation, got the dub. But yeah, so that's a thing. That's all my news. Josh, do you have the questions for the next part?
I do have the questions.
Ooh.
The next part of the show is in which we answer questions from you, the people. And if you would like to submit your questions, there are so many ways that I created a page on our website, neuron.tv/questions. But the best way, my favorite way, is if you join the Discord, neuron.tv/Discord. There are channels within there that you can submit your questions. But the absolute best way. There it is if you join the Nerd On Nation powered by Patreon. There it is. Nerdon.tv/Patreon. And you get what we call the Nerd On Nudge. It's like a speech jammer.
Nudge.
You get a Nerd On Nudge, and we ask you questions first. Turn it around. No, we answer your questions first.
Steve, enough of that.
Oh my God. And the questions like B-Rad shout out. What are some of your favorite TV shows that were canceled after only one season?
Oh,
Steve, you have to make sure they're good ones.
I thought it was good. The Chicago Code.
Oh,
I don't know what that is.
Chicago Code. What was that?
Oops, sorry. It was a Fox series with Jennifer Beals from Flashdance fame, and damn it, British actor that always hides his accent in TV shows and movies.
Billy Lush.
No, Jason Clarke. And Delroy Lindo.
Oh.
It was a cop series with dirty politicians, and it was called The Chicago Code. Only went one season, but I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
I have a small list of like things that occurred to me. I mean, number one, Freaks and Geeks. I loved Freaks and Geeks.
Oh yeah.
Recent ones, Why the Last Man. Why the Last Man is one of my favorite comic book series.
Why?
And The Last Man.
Yeah.
Bonnie and I both love that show, and found out like basically like even before its finale that it had been canceled, and that the creator was looking for a new home, but that was like almost 2 years ago. The Nevers was an HBO show over the past couple of years. That got canceled. Willow. the
Oh,
Disney
yeah.
Plus series. It was one of those things that it's like Willow always held a place in my heart, and whether the show was good or whether it was whatever, it was one of those things that's like, come on, let it play. Let's see what happens. And like, didn't they like already remove it from Disney Plus or something? They're like, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway,
How could I?
those are my favorites.
How could I forget? Tom,
Thing.
go. I forgot one, but Tom, go. Yeah.
Swamp Thing.
Oh,
Constantine.
Mine's connected to that. That guy. That's the one.
John Constantine.
Yes.
What else for me? One season. Cancel after one season. I don't get really too invested in TV shows because I know they're meant to be going on forever. I like them when they're like really not meant to go on forever, and I'm like, fuck, I want more. One season shows. I mean, it had 2 seasons, so I'm not, it doesn't count. So I can't do that. I mean, those are the 2 for me, Swamp Thing and Constantine. I was like,
Though, yeah.
There's,
Good
there's
picks,
some
good
shows
picks.
I'm like, how did that get multiple seasons?
yeah.
But okay, that's me. Steve, do you have any
Okay.
more?
Constantine was the other one.
Okay.
That was the one. Yep.
Next question comes from Spencer. Shout out. With the writer's strike, I was wondering what show you wish you could time travel to fix the issues with. I think a lot of people might say something like Heroes.
Oh, so like we're going back in time to fix old shows, like how in the future people might say that about current shows being written. If I can fix, let me see if there are shows other than Heroes that were affected. Shows
Was Lost? Was Lost affected?
I don't know.
Or was
Wait, is it like, does it have to have been affected by a writer's strike? Like, could it just be like,
I'm
I
just
just want
doing
to,
it, but if you
I
wanna
want
go
to
back
fix
and fix
Game
it.
of Thrones. Like, it's
Oh.
like, I liked Game of Thrones, but at one point you're like, well, okay. Lost, I heard Steve say, I watched every season of Lost, and then the last season I was like, cool.
So Bones
Cool.
got affected. Friday Night Lights got
interesting.
affected. Heroes, obviously. Scrubs. Grey's Anatomy, because it goes on forever. Lost, like you mentioned. 30 Rock. Pushing Daisies. The Office. Breaking Bad.
Really?
Prison Break. Quantum of Solace. Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. X-Men Origins Wolverine. Oh, baby.
So much to fix.
Oh.
Well, Wade was fixed, but still.
Oh. Terminator Salvation.
That was affected by it?
Yeah, production of Terminator Salvation was doomed from day one as the script was rushed into completion ahead of the pending WGA strike. Director McGee stated the script needed a major rewrite, but due to the strike ending in February 2008, the production being scheduled for May, there wasn't enough time. Jonathan Nolan, brother of Christopher Nolan, and co-creator Westworld was originally going to pen the script, but departed from the project.
Damn, I liked Salvation too.
I like Salvation. Do you know the intended ending, right?
That John Connor dies and it's placed into Sam Worthington's character, right?
Yeah, Face.
Yeah, Face. Yep, that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Battlestar Galactica was affected. Interesting.
Game of Thrones is like Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 if you really think about it.
I would have changed something slightly in the West Wing. I didn't like what happened with Toby. Like Toby took the fall for the president. I didn't like that element because I liked I mean, everything else I liked. I just didn't like how they did Toby in that. But that was all. That was it. Everything else I was fine
go
with.
back and fix the cape. I want to challenge that. The cape was pretty cool. I liked the cape.
The cape.
The cape was pretty cool for 2 seconds. But if I go back to time and just fix any show, fix any show. What?
I'm sorry. I read the next question.
Oh wait,
I'm sorry.
Hawaii Five-0. I'd have made sure the production paid Daniel Day Kim and damn it, the actress's name who was now on Million Little Things. They didn't pay those two the amount they were worthy because they were paying Scott Conn and the actor who plays McGarrett, but I forgot Daniel Day Kim's
Grace Park.
Thank you. Daniel Day Kim and Grace Park, Chin-Ho Kelly and Kono. That was their characters. They wanted more. They deserved more. They weren't given it. And that's why their characters are written off, which of course led to Daniel Day Kim becoming a great producer and Grace Kim having a great role on Million Little Things. But I loved their Hawaii Five-O characters. I had to keep them on instead of the ones they had that come in.
If I could go back, I would change How I Met Your Mother.
Ooh.
I would just change the last season. The last season is done very artistically in a production sense well, because not to spoil it, they do introduce the mother, and then they have to do this like 2 timeline storytelling for the show. For
interesting.
That season. And I would have maybe not have done that. I think, I don't know. 10 seasons is long, right? 10 seasons is long for a sitcom. And I mean, to me, some sitcoms go on for longer. But that being said, I think I would have wanted those characters to have more of their time, because at the end of the show, things happen, relationships change. Try not to spoil a fucking show that came out in 2005. But that being said, there's an A plot and then the B plot, which is supposed to be the whole show's real A plot. And so there's the A plot that's happening, and then there's B plot that's happening. In the last 3 episodes of that season, it's like, here's now the like far future of that B plot, and then kind of like the actual through line of the show, in the through line, the B plot of the show's through line.
It was weird.
And so like I would have just given them some more time, because I think a common critique is that there was a relationship that was built that felt like it got destroyed for the concept instead of for where the characters were going. And I'm never going to be one to like fucking be mean and disagree with something like that. But yeah, that's what I would say.
I feel that.
I would, that's probably one show I would probably do. Other show I could think. That's the only guys. I would fix The Office. I would fix that the first season wasn't fucking the most cringy thing I've ever seen in my life.
Because they copied the British version, like word for word. That's what they did. The season 2 on is when they became their own thing. Season 1,
that's
they
probably why
season 2, they're actually like, let's treat them like characters, because we can't do British comedy. And I'm like, sure, that's fine. And I'm glad,
because that's literally that's what they did. Yeah.
I most of the time I'm a big fan of British TV, and The Office is something that Bonnie and I watched, and the other one was Shameless. And when you watch, like, we started watching The Office because everybody and their mother just like loves it. And we started watching The Office and we were like, what the fuck? No. And Shameless wasn't the same thing, but like word for word, but the lines were very, very close. And we were like, I'm sorry, it doesn't work. You can't. And I think we just didn't give it a go. Like with The Office, I think we watched like a few minutes and we were like, nah, no, thank you.
The way it was pitched to me is get past the first season. Motherfucker.
I mean, Arrow.
Get that chance. You shouldn't get that chance. There's too many fucking people out there who are working for fucking nothing. You shouldn't get that fucking chance.
We do call the first season of Arrow the dry oatmeal season. I mean, because the fun comes in season 2.
I don't.
Season 2 is the better than season 1.
No, season 2 is the best of the entire series. But season 2? Are you shitting me?
I think 2's better.
I hate it when Mom and Dad fight.
No, season 2 is the best season of the entire series.
Correct.
But season 1, you were like, all right, this is some fucking garbage ass CW show with fucking green. Who gives a fuck? And then you watch
it's a dry oatmeal.
And then you're like, Stephen Amell fucking does parkour? What the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
And then
he saves it.
This guy's fucking jacked as shit for a CW show. Like, what the fuck? He's killing motherfuckers. And you're like,
yeah.
And I was like, I'm here for this shit. Like,
then you kind of realize it's Batman Begins with Green Arrow.
Exactly. I'm fine with that, but also, like, this motherfucker is just like,
yeah,
he's just like,
that's what it is.
You just see this guy who's like, I'm a rich guy. I have wife and children, but I did evil shit back in the day, but now I'm good. Fucking Green Arrow. You failed this city. It fucking kills him.
Yeah.
I'm like, Marvel wishes. Marvel could never. And I'm like, I want more of this shit. You see Daredevil being like, I don't kill people.
Give
I
me.
say fuck. And you're like, I don't give a shit. Fucking arrows in people's eyeballs. That's what I want to fucking see. I'm like, all right, this motherfucker's good. And then season 2, fucking Meter Cooter. I was like, I'm here for it.
Season 2 was fire.
They completely was like, we're gonna just throw shit in. It doesn't really connect to the canons and all this. I was like, who gives a fuck? This is. I'm here for this shit.
Oh,
the
give
fucking
me the
Terminator
League
coming
of
after it.
Assassins. Give me the League of Assassins. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
No, that's season 3.
Yes, thank you.
No, they came in at the end. They helped in the end.
They
Remember?
did. Yeah,
They helped
because
them.
Nissa.
They helped Green Arrow, and then season 3.
So good.
The fight on the mountaintop.
Also, yeah.
Oh,
Tom's the guy by the tree going.
Dude.
yeah.
I'm like, I hate to see heroes kill people. I'm Shaq hiding behind a tree. I want to see it. I want to see
I
it.
want to see it. He's doing the.
Yeah, I'm fucking dude. Heroes go bad and seeing like that shit and then having them come back. And that was all these fucking arc was just like, I have to be better. And I was like, but then no, fucking gatekeeping true real fans are like, save cats out of trees and smile. I'm like, shut your fucking bitch ass up. Go buy the comic book.
Shut your hole.
Go watch.
Next question.
Anyways, yeah, next question.
That's your whole
Next question comes from T-Dog. Shout out. What up? What up? Pick one to rewatch for the first time. Major Payne, Iron Man, or Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker.
You already know.
It's Major Payne.
It's Grease.
You son of a bitch.
Oh, Green
I didn't. For some reason, my brain blacked out of For the First Time and just picked to rewatch. I was like, well, I rewatch Iron Man like a couple of days ago. Major Payne. I remember watching.
So good.
Oh my god, it's such a dumb movie, and it's like I would love to go back and Blank Man. Oh man, Blank Man. Don't Be a Menace in South Central. Oh gosh,
not
those
Major
guys.
Payne.
I know. I was just thinking about their humor. Anyway,
the Wayans. Yeah, the Wayans.
Major
Oh, yeah.
Payne.
Family.
Batman Beyond. Return of
The
the Joker.
Black Bald ones.
Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker. Easy. Every day of the week. Every fucking day of the goddamn week. That movie, as a child, like blew my fucking mind. I was like, oh shit, this shit is so cool. Like, and to me, it's like, I don't know if there's many directors that can actually do that in live action. So,
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I love it. What about you, Steve's?
Damn.
Grease
So
2.
many options with Terry McGinnis. I got Grease 2. There's
is there a movie
Seeing
that you
Stark for
actually
the first
detest,
time.
Steve's?
There, remember that.
Oh.
He's thinking.
For a
Yeah,
second, I
think
thought you
so.
broke him.
They're out there. There's a few out there.
Okay.
I think I've realized that I don't detest
I don't know if I
Grease.
did-
I
I
just
mean, there's-
strongly dislike it.
And I get that. I get it now. Like older, I'm like, yeah, this movie's. I'll watch it if it's on, but I'm like, nah. I don't know, but there's. You gotta give me time because I can find. When they're on, I remember I detest them, but it takes me a while because I tend to like give every movie damn shot.
Oh,
like
Just
even
like
if it's
watching a movie and you're
not
like,
what I
oh
like,
god,
I'll finish
I hate
it.
this.
I'll finish the movie. Yeah, it'll happen. When it happens, I'll text you. But then I remember that also with Major Payne, Hillary is in Major Payne.
Oh yeah.
Hillary Banks. Hillary Banks is
Yeah.
in Major Payne.
Yeah, she's like a baby.
She's the love interest. Oh, yeah, she's always a babe. It's Hillary Banks. You know what? All three.
What the fuck?
He broke it. He broke the question. He was like, I can do whatever I want. I'm at the Blockbuster. I got a gift card. I can do whatever I want.
I got a gift card. I'm gonna get all three movies. And maybe that video game in the
I can do
popcorn.
whatever I want. You know what having a gift card feels
Oh,
like? You're like when you're a kid, you're like, I can do whatever I want. You
Late
can't even
night-
tell me what I could.
Can't tell me to do.
I can watch whatever I want.
Yeah, late 90s, Friday night. Come on.
All right. Well, we got one more question, and Steve's internet might fluctuate again, so let's do a quick one.
Awesome. So excited.
Let's do a quick one. Do a quick one. Do a quick one. Let's do. Ethan, who will you partake in Barbenheimer double feature?
No. What is the what is
Barbie and Oppenheimer open the same
I had
day.
I had to think about it. No.
Saying the
I will
question
watch
explains the
them, but I probably won't watch them like one after the other. Like that's how a double feature works.
What polar opposites? Jesus Christ.
You mean perfect for each other?
I think, not gonna lie, I'd probably have to do Barbie first, then Oppenheimer, because I feel like Oppenheimer, like, if you watch that, you're just gonna be thinking about that afterwards, and Barbie, like, of course you can think about it afterwards, but you probably don't want to feel like that way going into Oppenheimer.
You don't expect
you
the
don't wanna, you go to
spoon.
Oppenheimer going to Barbie. You're like, no.
You don't expect the spoon being put into your brain and squished around in Barbie. You expect that from Nolan.
Maybe. I don't know. Steve, are you going to partake?
I really want to see Oppenheimer. Like Barbie looks funny, but Oppenheimer is where I'm really focusing on watching.
It is cinema.
It's
A film.
This is
A
cinema.
film.
This is a film.
I am coming to watch a film.
I love
Barbie is a movie.
I love the
This is a
experience of Christopher Nolan opening my head, taking my brain and saying, "You never thought this would happen, would you?" And then puts it back. And I love when he does that to me. So,
it's okay. Before we wrap out for the night, I think Steve's got a last bit of news that we should talk about.
yes, hopefully the internet hangs in with me on here. We had some tragic, sad news in the K plus Crusader family. Curtis Fisher, one of the ardent originals, one of the original 6 of the K plus Crusaders, was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer 2 months ago, and as of this past weekend, he did pass away. It came as a shock to the entire Crusader family because while we've kept in touch with him, he didn't really talk about this since he was diagnosed again 2 months ago, and he was basically focusing on battling it. He had gone into intestinal surgery on Father's Day, and from what we know, never really recovered from that. So it's been a sad hit. Curtis was the creative genius of the K plus Crusaders. He's the one, our first producer. It started in that 6-person group text we had at Arden. It became on the shoe boxes in his apartment, shoe boxes with mic stands on top of them. Fast forward to having our live shows at Empire's Comics Vault in Sacramento. He was behind the scenes, camera angles. We did everything we could to get him on a few episodes too, because he was always so focused on presenting the production at its top quality. And he was just a driving force. And if I wasn't talking to Tom about writing things, I was talking to Curtis about writing things. And we were talking recently about the Eddie Aikau book I just finished reading and how much he liked Eddie Aikau. So we're all hit pretty hard. Curtis, again, a force with us, and he is going to be very hard. We're not going to forget him or that laugh of his. We're not going to forget that laugh that he would have. So if you knew Curtis Fisher, send your love. If you didn't, go back into the archives way back, like episodes 1 through 70, maybe. You'll see Curtis's work on there, especially the live shows. And when we visited certain Comic-Cons in the Northern California area, he was behind all those as well. So take a moment to take in a creative genius of the K plus Crusaders. He called me Stark. I called him Rhodey. So we always refer to each other as Tony and Rhodey. So Rhodey, thank you for everything, and you're going to be missed.
Yeah. Second. I'm not going to follow with that. But yeah, so that's one thing, hate to leave on a somber note, but yeah, we just had to pay respects, pay our honor, because, he was someone very close to us. And without him, I wouldn't have been in the podcasting world. Without him, Steve's and I would not have had the relationship as close as we did. We would have talked, but we would not have had some creative collaboration. And we wouldn't be here in this way because, that effort.
I feel like Nerd
into-
On wouldn't exist
Yeah, because
as it does.
yeah. So it's yeah, it's a lot. But that being said, that would probably wrap us out for the night on the Nerd On update. But if anything, I'll probably try to find some stuff I can post up on the Discord, and we'll do a little bit of like a cool, like, you know, post here and there. Again, not to
One of the
downer, but to celebrate.
one of the best moments to put up, I would say, is episode 50. That was the last one where we had all of us together, including Curtis, on the panel with the one, the only Jamie Burgess as well on there. So it's a panel of all 6 of us with Tom coming in on the TV screen as well. So we're all together in one shot. So definitely check that one out.
Yeah, I will do that. I'll find it. I'll post it up there. But with that, I'll find someone to raid. Josh, you want to sing us out?
Yeah, everybody at home, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for, watching. We don't do an audio version of this, so I take my words back. Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, watching back, awesome. Thank you for being around. Check out our website, nerdon.tv. Has all of the information for everything that we do, all of our episodes, the entire Capeless Crusaders archive, the Nerd On archive, the Nerd On update, hundreds of episodes. Check it out, and do please consider joining that Nerd On Nation. I don't mean to beg or anything like that. That's not what I meant to feel like, but I just mean consider joining that, helping us to continue doing what we're doing. We like to do this, and we'd love to do it more, and we'd love to produce more what we do here. It's a joy for us. Yeah, that's it. That is the show. Take care of yourselves. Drink water. Stay hydrated. It's starting to get hot here in California. But you know the drill. As always,
Nerd On.
Nerd On.
Nerd on.